I'd like to review the 5 steps to a successful installation of a 2-wire system. First and foremost, I'm going to go through the tools that we recommend. Simple wire strippers, lineman's pliers, wire stripper designated to remove the outside jacket of the double jacketed wire that we recommend, DBRY 6s, wire connections, and most important is to make sure that you use the designated Tucor double jacketed tin coated copper with a black and red conductor on the inside. So with that said, what we'll do next is I'm going to zoom in and actually show you how to strip the wire using these strippers, and then we'll be making splices, or the twisting the wire with the lineman's pliers, and then we'll be doing the gel caps. So the 5 steps to a successful installation will begin right now. So what I'm going to be demonstrating right now is a 3-way splice out in the field, junction, and the 5 steps before we get started will be: you want to remove 8 to 10 inches of the outside jacket off of the 2-wire communication. Once you have that accomplished, you're going to take 1 inch of the insulation off of the red and black conductor. You're going to be twisting 2 wires only at a time, so it will be red to red and black to black. I'll put 2 wires together. Then if there's a 3-way splice, I'll wrap the 3rd wire around it. Most important is we want 12 to 18 inches of wire above the top of the valve box. In this, the reason for this is because the decoder has a 12-inch lead on both sides, so 2-wire 12-inch blue wires to the 2-wire path and 12 inches to the solenoid. The solenoid has an 18-inch lead, so if you go any more than 18 inches, it's actually a waste of wire. Okay? So, and last but most important is going to be everything you put on a 2-wire path will always be in a valve box. Okay? So now I'll show you how to actually do the splice of these 3 wires, and what I'll do is I'll show you one, then I'll take the liberty of doing the other 2, then we'll zoom in and we'll show you the actual wire twisting together. So now I'm going to show you the actual stripping of the outside jacket using this designated wire stripper here. Okay, so what you're going to do is, you can see the wire sits on, the 2 wires run parallel, so they sit on edge. You're going to run the edges on edge through this tool here, approximately 8 to 10 inches. I'm going to use this tool here with a little knife, and I'm going to feather it. I'm just going to push down with my thumb here, and I'm going to pull. And as I pull, you'll see the outside jacket coming off. I'm going to roll it over, do the exact same thing, pull it, and you'll see, again, here's the outside jacket coming off. What I'm going to do now is I get to remove this wire here. You'll notice on this table there are no knives. We do not allow a knife to be used on a 2-wire system when you're installing it. It is probably the worst thing you can do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these wire strippers here and just cut off the excess. And here you'll see that I did not penetrate the inside insulator on this conductor, and that's probably the #1 reason we have failures on a 2-wire system. It's because people use knives, they don't use the correct tools, and they're in a hurry. They damage the integrity of these 2 insulators here, and that's where the problem begins. So next we're going to take our strippers, we're going to do approximately 1 inch of insulation off. Alright, so now I'm ready to make a splice out in the field. I'll take the liberty now of doing these 2 wires. We'll come back and I'll actually show you the twisting of the wires together. So as you can see, here's all the strippings off of the outside jacket, the insulation off of the red and black wire. So the next process is now, it's going to be red to red and black to black, and that's for troubleshooting. Okay, so you can see the tin coated copper. I am not going to use my fingers to twist this. I'm going to use these lineman's pliers. And the process is simple. You cross them, and as I'm pulling away, pinching these wires together, you'll see with the lineman's pliers how nice and tight that twist is. So there's the first 2. And my point earlier was never put 3 or more than 2 together, because you're apt to have damage to one of them After you do all your gel caps and everything, you find out that the splice isn't correct, you have to take it all apart. So by doing two, here's two here, these are now one, this is one, so now I'm going to wrap this one nice and neat around this same jacket here. So all I do is start it in here, and I do the exact same process. I pull away with the lineman's pliers, and as I'm pulling, you can see how it's folding right into the existing splice. I'm going to use my cutters here. I'm going to cut off the edge. At no time do I use this wire nut to do the twist. I use the wire nut to seal everything together after I'm finished. So in this example here, I have 1 inch of insulation. I put the wire nut on. I have 8 to 10 inches, and the reason we have 8 to 10 inches is because we have to put the gel cap on and make sure that it fits. We want to have wire available to troubleshoot in the future. Okay, so now I'll do the red ones. Again, it's always 2 at a time, so I do a little twist like this. Now I'm using my pliers, and I'm going to be pulling away. As I'm pulling away, you'll see how nice and tight that twist is. I take the third wire now around these two, and I'm going to do a twist again. And as I'm pulling away, you'll see how nice and neat that wire splice is. Okay? I take the wire cutters, cut off the edge, put a wire nut on, and a gel cap. So here's an example of red to red, black to black, a 3-way splice, 8 to 10 inches of wire. Putting the gel cap on is relatively simple. You want to make sure that you push it all the way down to the end. These wire nuts here are flexible, and what happens is they actually lock at the bottom of the gel cap. So I'm going to displace grease as I'm doing it. You can never reuse these after they've been used once. Once I have it in, it can only fit one way. You'll see it's all grouped. Once I put it in, and you'll see as the grease is displacing, I'm pushing. And here's the gel cap, the wire nut all the way at the bottom. Now I need to spread my 3 wires because I need to be able to close the cap. So the wire connection has places to actually put the wire. As you can see, 3-way splice. Now I'm going to lock the cap down. You always want to lock it. You'll actually hear it snap in once it's locked. Alright, so now here's my black wires. Properly installed, the wire nuts all the way at the bottom. I actually have enough room to use my clamp meter for troubleshooting. I've got my 12 to 18 inches of wire for the top of the valve box. I'll do the red wire the exact same way. So next move for us will be out in the field. I'll actually show you what it looks like in the valve box, and I'll be putting the wire nut on the red wires and the gel cap to show you how that looks. We'll also be doing a installation of a decoder out in the field on a 2-way splice, meaning 2 wires in and out. The decoder will be installed on the 2-wire path connected to the solenoid, and we'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so now we've made it out to the field to a 3-way splice. I've taken the liberty of pre-doing the black wires with the gel cap, and here you can see the red wires have been twisted together, and you'll notice I'm going to zoom in here in a little bit and show you exactly how it looks. Again, the only tools that we needed out here are the wire strippers, the lineman's pliers, the specified wire gel caps, and then we have wire strippers here also. I brought a rag and I brought a little pad to kneel on so I'm comfortable. Again, the most important thing you're going to be doing in a 2-wire system is making these wire connections, so you want to use the proper tools and you want to be comfortable, so you do it the right way. So now we'll zoom in and we'll show you what this looks like, the 3-way splice and valve box and so forth. So now that we've zoomed in a little bit closer, you'll be able to see the 3-way splice, the 3 individual wires. Here's the black one with the gel cap already on. I'll demonstrate putting the wire nut on. Again, I'm not going to be twisting the wires, I'm just locking them together with this nut. Here's the gel cap, and we're going to insert it. It can only fit one way. Remember, these cannot be reused again. So as I put it in a certain way, you'll notice that it displaces the grease. I'm going to splice it, move the wires 3 different ways so the gel cap cover can close. And as I close it, you'll actually hear it lock. So here it is, the 3-way splice,
2 feet above the top of the valve box, identified with the correct wire splice kits. And now what the proper thing to do is to curl it in nice and neat and put it in the valve box. And make sure you mark this on your as-built that this is actually a 3-way splice. Put the cover on, lock it, and I'm all through. So summary, make sure you use the right tools, the right wire, the right gel caps, valve box, and put them on an as-built that this is a 3-way splice. And try to indicate where the wires are coming from with a piece of tape, which one comes from the controller. So here we are at a decoder with an electric valve location, same property. This is a in and out splice. It's not a dead end. It has a wire in and a wire out. You'll see red to red, black to black. You'll see approximately 12 to 18 inches of wire above the top of the valve box. You're limited with that because you have 12 inches on your decoder side to your 2-wire path, 12 inches to your solenoid side, and then your 18 inches to your solenoid. So you really can't go much further than that. It's actually a waste of wire to try to put more than 18 inches. So in summary, what we have is red to red, black to black, blue to the line. You'll see the gel caps. You'll see they're properly installed. You'll see here the gel caps on the solenoid side. Okay, again, properly installed. Here's the decoder. It's going to be duly programmed, marked. This is number 1. So this will be when I turn on from the controller. This is the first valve in the field. I'm going to curl these wires up nice and neat also, and I'm going to put them in the valve box. So in closing, use the right tools, use the right gel caps, the right wire, valve box on a decoder install with the electric valve 12 to 18 inches. In the field, when it's a field splice as we did on the other application, it was 2 feet. So any questions, you want to call us at 724-935-6850.